So I wanted to kind of fill in some stuff that Sean was saying about probably not Alternus, the cosmic being, so much. Like I said, he was pretty much right in the sense that I enjoyed Aluxis a lot more. Like Alternus was a very cool on paper kind of character. He was very powerful. He was very fast. He was too powerful, too fast, and like I said, the DM had to put like some regulations in place to kind of keep him from dwarfing everybody. So like he was, and then like there was some real like power consistency issues with the way that character operated. Like I think one of the stories that we've told a couple times was he basically fought this ninja dude, and the ninja dude attacked him. And at this point, like this was like well into the disrespect saga that had that would carry over between Alternus, Aluxis, and like Sean said about the minion that I created. Because like Drew's game, like the NPCs just like no NPC ever respected you. Like there was, like they were all about like just straight up disrespecting you at every chance they got. And like this ninja dude like came at Alternus, and Alternus is like, oh no, yeah, it's like this guy is so gonna get it. And so Alternus basically goes ready to launch into this guy like full speed, like not holding back, like he's just gonna murder this dude. And the ninja dude does not get murdered by Alternus. So that was kind of like one of those. Oh wait a second, this doesn't seem right. What happened then? There was another. Oh, there was like, so like there was like the whole cosmic war thing going on, and Alternus, he fought like what was supposed to be like one of the weakest class or weakest cosmic beings in existence. No, it wasn't even the weakest class. Like that would be, it wasn't like it was worded as the weakest class. He was straight up worded as like the weakest cosmic being that there was out there, and he pretty much like manhandled Alternus. Like they just didn't even seem like they were in the same league. So like that's where I was like, that doesn't make any sense, DM. Like I was supposed to be pretty nice amongst like the cosmic beings and stuff like that, but like that was kind of a consistency issue that we ran into. So I gave him up and kind of moved on from him. Like I said, it was one of those ones where it wasn't entirely unfun. Like there were definitely fun moments in the story, moments I enjoyed, things like that. But we gave him up, and I made Aluxis. And Aluxis was this young kid who was, I think, I don't know if his name's Solarian as well, but I can at least say as Sean said, like Generation borrows things. Like the Solarians have been a race in both incarnations of my game because I like them, and they're a little different each time, and like they draw upon their powers a little differently here and there. But like they are still kind of like the Children of the Stars. I think they're actually in Unleashed as well, in maybe in the exact same name, but like they form and function differently. But so that's Aluxis was like this kid who basically was tied to like the heart of a star, and like his people basically worship the stars if they were these living beings that could grant them power. And his abilities were like very solar based, like solar radiation kind of blasts and stuff like that. And he could call out. That was his power levels. Like instead of going Super Saiyan, he could go like different star colors. So like I think it was like red was like the base, so he would call it this red energy, and like it would make him a little faster, a little stronger. He could fire these destructive blasts, like back to back, that kind of thing. And what he would do is you would go through like the temperature of stars, like it was like red, yellow, blue white, or white blue. I think it was blue white, and each one of them was like this big jump in power, like kind of going Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, that kind of thing. Only it was like I said, it basically made him faster, made him stronger, made him blast more powerful, stuff like that. And there was like we talk about like power progression in games, everything like that. Drew's was fast. I think this is my first game. I think power progression was very fast too. But that's kind of one of those new DM things I think that Sean was mentioning. But like I said, there was, to Drew's credit, there was some time and effort that went into breaking into these next new levels. And so Aluxis, and then there was like another level I found out about later called Black. And Black was like black hole. Like, so it basically took, it went from like you exuding all this energy, and I think this is how we destroyed the galaxy, man. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember the events that led up to it, like after Sean did that last video, but I don't remember exactly. But I'm trying to remember it. But I know one of the keys to it was Aluxsis went black, and black was you basically, instead of channeling the heart of a star, you channeled a black hole, and it was just like this, like you just sucked in all this energy from around you, and it was really nasty. What you like, it was like one of those ones where I think like late stage Aluxis could have beaten like Alternus kind of thing when he was black, and like I said, maybe not in like pure speed or anything like that, but just like destructive potential. He was nasty. Um, yeah, so that was kind of, oh, and Aluxis, he had this sword like Sean had said about, like like beyond like being like, he wasn't anywhere near as fast as like cosmic beings or anything like that, but the sword was like a lightsaber, only you know how lightsabers have their intensity. Well, this was it was like it had like a piece of a white the heart of a white star in it. So it was insanely destructive. Like you could just like put it to anything and it would instantly, like, just the exposure to this sword would like incinerate people. Like you didn't have to like slice people with it. You could just like get the sword, like if you clashed the sword against someone, he could incinerate someone with it if he powered it all the way up. Like the sword, I think, could power up someone. Like it wasn't just like always on kind of thing. But it was always very destructive with this heat potential. Like, so if you got touched by it, like I remember he turned some people to ash with it, so it was pretty nasty. Uh, but yeah, so like, yeah, Alexis's range, they became good friends. He got kind of brought into the whole Aristotle thing. And one of the first memories I have with the character, and this is kind of what Sean was saying, was Aristotle came down, and to recruit all of us, he came down and he did something really disrespectful to each of us. Like I think Sean got, like, he put him in a headlock and gave him a noogie, and like he took Aluxis, like he grabbed his nose and just smacked his face, like really, like in a painful way, like in a kind of painful, bullish way. And it's just like this god level cosmic being or whatever Aristotle actually was out here just like, you know, why you gotta disrespect some kid like this who you're eventually coming to ask to help. So it's like, what do? Like, you grin and bear it. And that was kind of like the start of it for Aluxis. Like, Alternus had kind of like done his time with disrespect. And what's it called? So yeah, we went and we did the big mission, as Sean had said, and then like I said, where his story kind of diverged is I went back to my home world, and it started to happen everywhere. Like people would just like it became like my character became very self-aware of how much like NPCs would just disrespect you, like for no good reason. Be like, hey man, I'd like to order like a fruit smoothie here or something like that. Like, who are you, kid? What do you want? It's like, no, I'm just a customer. I'm looking to get some fruit smoothie here. And I'm like, man, I could beat the crap out of you if I wanted to, kid. Just know that I won't, but I could, and it would be easy because you're a chump. It's like, well, look, man, I'm just here to get my fruit smoothie. Can we move along? It's like, oh, you trying to talk to me or something like that? It was just like everything would escalate into like, and it would be born out of this like disrespectful comment. It's like, you know, Alexis knew he was nice. Like, he's like, I smack these people around. But George was secretly afraid of like the most powerful psychic that like Rain ran into situations where it's like he would just randomly show up and it'd be like the most powerful dude on the planet, and he'd come like chump you out. So yeah, like you didn't want to escalate the situations because you never knew, but this kind of stuff just kept building up, and it was like, it was everywhere. Like, you know, he would ask people for help. He would just kind of go about his business, like, you know, trying to mind his own business, and then like it kind of built up to the point where he started like ask people. He's like, man, he's like, you know, you don't understand. Like, the only reason you're here, the only reason you're alive, is because I gave up part of myself to save you. Like, you know, we fought Exodus, this all-powerful being. I was like, I got some of her blood right here. I was like, she's like one of the most powerful beings in the universe, and me and my friends, we stopped her. And it was like, it was me and Rain. It's like that, you know, we kind of were the heroes of that story. Like, if it wasn't for us and like the efforts and sacrifices we made, like we wouldn't have, this job wouldn't have got done. Like, so you guys need to show some respect. Like, and this is where the dark twist came from, is in his mind, these people who didn't believe him, is like, they wouldn't be here if not for for what Rain and Aluxis had done. He's like, you were already living on borrowed time at this point, and that's borrowed time that I gave you. So Aluxis started to get a little dark with it, and he's like he hasn't crossed the line yet or anything like that, but it just keeps building up and building up, and it's like it's just more and more people. So he starts to ask people. He's like, hey man, he's like, what if I told you that, it's like, this is gonna sound crazy, but that I saved your life, like you just don't know it. Like there was this imminent galactic threat out there, and you know, me and a friend of mine, we stopped it, and like we saved you. And it's like, you're here today because this galactic threat did come out there and wipe out our planet. And I was like, I'm not asking you to like openly believe me or anything like that, but just, you know, if that was the case, what would you do? And inevitably, the dude or woman he would ask to would be like, "Pfft," and she would just be as disrespectful as possible about it, like not even like humoring this 17-year-old kid or anything like that. Like he was like 16, I think, but it was like he's like this kid and everything like that. Like, oh yeah, you know, hey, thanks, buddy, you know, and like that. It's like no, there was never anything like that. It was always ultra disrespectful. So Alexis would be like, well, okay then. He's like, well, since you don't want to be that way, and he just sort of hold out his hand and he'd just incinerate the person. He's like, all right, let's see who's next on the list. So he'd go around and find the next person. He'd explain to them the situation. Like he'd be like, listen, you know, I'm not like, just, you know, like hypothetically even and everything like that. He was trying to like get someone to respect him. Like he wasn't going out there he wasn't going out there looking to kill people. He was trying to find someone who would respect him, and every person he ran across failed him. And I think like there was eventually like one or two people, and that kind of like sated him for a little bit, where he was like, okay, he's like, all right, they are out there, like I don't have to do this to everybody. He's like, all these people, like the only reason they exist is because of the like I said, it's to say sacrifice, it's just like it's a very traumatic battle for someone their age to go through. And like I was kind of weighing that on his character, like, you know, like like, you know, like a lot of the animes and movies and stuff like that, like it's like, oh, this kid goes out to save the world. It's like I was kind of playing up like the weight of like just like the heaviness of actually what went into everything. And then like, you know, coming home, and then you basically be like that war veteran kind of thing, and it's like, yeah, but like they're not like spitting in your face, like they're just like being like insanely rude for no reason. And yeah, so what's it called, from there it kind of like dialed back for a little bit, and then something set him off again. And it was like, I think he actually went to get a little help from it. Like he went to like to see a psychologist or some, like psychiatrist or something like that. And he's like, you don't understand. He's like, you know, because he basically told the story, and the psychiatrist thought he was crazy. But he's like, you don't understand. He's like, this is something that happened. And he's like, I'm Aluxis Starfire. That was his name. And he's like, I can show you how powerful I am. Like, and I think at this point, like he was like blue or white, which was like really rare on his people. And he just powered up, and like, you know, the psychiatrist kind of brushed it off. And he's like, there's not many people out there like me. And he might have been able to tap into like a little bit of the black at that point, but I don't think yet. And he's like, what it was is I think he could go black in when he was given the power boost. And he's like, I even know about the black. And she's like, the what? And she kind of played it off. And he's like, I know about the black. Like, I know that there's just a level beyond white that we can hit, and I've hit it. And then she kind of acts surprised or something like that. And it was just like, there was this, like, because he was like semi-committed for a while, like just kind of like not straitjacket, but he was in like a mental health facility. And there was something that happened that set him off, and he was like, well, screw it. He's like, you, and this might have, like, I might have played things a little bit out of order. Like, he might have like sought help before that, but then I think he eventually did going out, and he basically came to the conclusion that everyone that was alive that he saved owed him his life. So if he decided that they didn't want to like, if they didn't want to live, like if he killed 10 people, 100 people, 100 million people, like he still saved billions. So it's like, that's nothing. It's like, you don't want to respect me for what I did. It's like, I've got no problem killing 1,000 of you. So he went out, and he started posing people those questions. And it's like, at first he tried to explain a little bit, like, hey, you know, this is what happened, everything like that. And they would inevitably disrespect him, and he'd incinerate them, kill them. And I think a DM minion came up and asked him what he was doing, and I was just like, the minion's gonna disrespect me. I know a DM, and I'm gonna kill myself on the minion because I'm not stopping at this point. And so like the minion was sated or something like that and moved on his way. Because I think it was one of those ones. I don't want to say this for sure, but I feel like I maybe we voiced our thing. It's like, yeah, this is really messed up. Like, there's no reason a minion should be showing up here. Like, this is something a character can do. Like, a character doesn't have to be a good guy or anything like that. I think that's kind of why the minion backed off. But so Aluxis killed maybe like 3 or 4 people, and then he basically was going around posing this question to more people, and like he posed it to a crowd of people, and he like got their attention, and the crowd jeered him and like basically to start to disrespect him. It's like really, like, what's going on here? And so he just bang, like, incinerated the crowd like it was nothing, because like to this point, like, Alternus, like, incinerating a crowd of people was like absolutely nothing. Like, it was just like the flick of a finger. And at this point, like, he had killed maybe like 30 or 40 people. Like, it wasn't a lot of people at this point, but he killed like 30 or 40. And the guardian of the planet, maybe this wasn't on his home planet, maybe he went somewhere else, but anyway, a guardian of a planet, kind of like a Piccolo type person, who was a wind manipulator, came up to Aluxis and it's like, you gotta stop this. And I was like, really? I was like, they got you on call this quick? It's like, I killed 30 people. He's like, I killed maybe 30 people. He's like, that's a small natural disaster that's happening everywhere in the world, and you come up to try to stop me? I was like, there's people out there you'd be saving. Like, there's hundreds of thousands. Like, I sensed out, and I was like, there's like 1,000 people dying over there, but you want to come and stop me? So like, he was just like, at this point, like, over the limit, like the disrespect, and he started to like personify like the like, oh, that was the big thing, is he he basically, I basically created an NPC, which the DM did not like this, for the record, that Aluxis would have extended duration or extended talks with, and it was the embodiment of disrespect. And he's like, man, why you gotta do me like this? Like, like, I'm out there, I'm saving people, and like the DM tried to like play out Aluxis's minions, and then like it was just like immediately like, no, like, DM, you make all these NPCs disrespect, you kind of like disrespect me. Like, so I stopped listening to the NP, like, it wasn't an NPC, it was like a figment of his imagination. And when the DM started to play like a part of the figment, he wasn't having it. And so then the DM basically said, listen, player, it's like, if you're gonna go crazy, you're just gonna lose your character. Like, you won't be in your same state of mind. I'm like, okay, DM, we'll dial back a little bit. So it was one of those, like, it was a little messy. Like, it was one of those ones. I wasn't like legitimately upset. Like, I was playing into it a good bit, but it was kind of like there was like some of those really DM really kind of moments. And but yeah, like I said, he actually had this embodiment of disrespect that he would talk to, and he'd be like, why these people gotta do me like this? Why they gotta be like this? And like, then I would play out like as disrespect would talk back to Alternus and all this stuff. So anyway, that was part of the thing, and like, so Alternus was talking to his disrespect thing while this planet guardian came up, and he sensed out. He's like, there's 1,000 people over there dying right now, and you could be saving them, but you want to stop me from killing 30. It's like, so that's how it's gonna be. So George knew what was gonna happen. Alternus powered up to his white form, and his white form is everything, and he's basically fighting the male equivalent of Storm. And as you would expect in Drew's game, the male equivalent of Storm is bodying the Solarian, who's got like the heart of a white star, who's like basically like Super Saiyan 4, and it's like the wind is repelling a Super Saiyan 4 from this Storm-like character, and it's just like, all right, DM. Alternus stops fighting. Like, he just, and at that point, like, he just kind of like was broken, and I think that was about the time Rain showed up. And it was just like, Alternus was like, Rain was there to talk him down, but like at that point, like, Alternus was just straight broken. Like, as a character, like, I had him like a mental snap. He's like, whatever you want, man. All right, let's do it. But yeah, so from there, like, he did get called back to the planet, and he was kind of this shell of himself. Like, it was just kind of that moment that broke him. And then of course we had like the jokes where NPCs would come off the DM minion assembly line, and they'd be like, "All right, here's some power. All right, here's some more power. Here's enough power to like hold out your right hand and nullify this person's power." And then here's like a dossier of these people we want you to go disrespect. That's all you got to do. And if you disrespect them, you'll get some more power. So like the minion would like kind of grab his little pamphlet and his little notebook and like, all right, man, I'm gonna go give you some more power. First, I'm gonna go disrespect these two kids. And the DM didn't like that at all. But that was a kind of a running joke Sean and I had. But yeah, we went back to save or to not to look over what's her name. Exodus, and I don't remember what led up to it, but I do remember that that's how they ended up dying. Was I think like Rain basically like shattered reality, and Aluxis went dark and opened up a dark hole, and he put all his life force into it. And he's just like, all right, damn, I'm screwed. I'm taking down this whole. And like we ended up taking down. Like I thought we were gonna take down like a star system. We ended up taking down a large portion of space and killed a lot of people. And I still remember one of his last justification is I still saved more people than I'm about to kill. So that was kind of how Rain and Aluxis went out. I wish I could remember what led us to that point. Part of me wants to say that I hope that Aluxis talked Rain into like the disrespectful nature of the universe, and that this is the only way to stop disrespect is to kill everybody. But I don't remember if that's how it went down or not. But part of me hopes it did. Alright, I'll just stop there for now.